Welcome to your market report, folks. Today is Tuesday, March 27th, 2018, and we're really glad to have you guys here. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to get the charts up and running just a second here. Chart the charts right here. Okay, so now what we're going to look at first is silver price, because it's pretty much the biggest mover. It's fallen as we speak this morning. If you see my face wincing up like, I don't like to see this, you know. 16.53, it's down 14 cents. Look at that. The green is today. See, it's just down. It's being smashed down today. It's a smash down day. How long will it continue before it bottoms out? It's going straight down at the moment, right now. It's dropping straight down. I don't like to see this. Cryptocurrency is suffering too. If we take a look at the cryptocurrency market capitalizations, we see everything in the red. You see a lot of red on the board. $294 billion, so it's under the $300 billion mark now. Most notably to me, Litecoin, 139 bucks, Bitcoin at 7,814, Ethereum at 454. Let's take a look at Bitcoin itself here. If we go to Bitstamp, 79.66 at Bitstamp. It was going down last night, this last leg. Let me just go out to the 3-minute here. You can see this last leg down last night, this leg right here. And you see it's been trying to hold its own. It's been really desperately trying to hold its own at around 79.31. It's a battle just for it to hold. It's bearish. The market is bearish, and it's been a battle for it to hold around 8,000. We could get a slide, a little slide in the price. We could. I'm not saying we will, but we'll have to wait and see, because it's battling to hold its own. It's battling to stay in at 8,000. It's having a hard time. This tendency is to slide down. And so now let's take a look at the Dow Jones this morning, 55.93. It's only up very slightly. I tend to think it's going to close in the red today. I tend to think it's going to close down about 100 points or so. I tend to think it's going to lose a little bit today. Today's one of those days where it's not really moving that big, not that much activity, it seems like. That's how it's starting today anyway, and it seems like it's just barely holding on that plus side today. Seems like it kind of wants to slide back a little bit. But that's looking at the smaller picture. That's focusing myopically on what it's doing today. Overall, what I think it's doing is I think it's making these gains back, but ultimately it's losing ground. But it's losing ground very slowly. But I didn't really expect it to crash right now, and I've been saying that the crash is premature. I don't really expect it to crash until the U.S. 10-year gets over 3.25%, and right now the U.S. 10-year is not at that mark yet. So the market is, when it was starting to drop really heavy like that, it wasn't behaving exactly how I expected. I expected it to basically maintain its position more or less. So this bounce back shouldn't be unexpected by me. It's just because the crash is not ready yet. But these guys who have been making an awful lot of money on the bounce, you know, they buy in the dip and make money on the bounce. Unless that bounce goes higher than the previous, they don't tend to make the money. They're going to make the money if we get higher highs. If it's not doing that, then there's not the heavy money to be made anymore in the market, because what we're dealing with is a bear market at that point. So now let's move on to Sweet Lake Crude. Sweet Lake Crude, we'll take a look at the 5-day chart, not the 1-day. 5-day chart, we see it steadily moving upwards, but very slowly on Sweet Lake Crude. Now we're going to take a look at bonds and rates. And we'll focus in the chart here a little bit so we can see better. We're going to focus on the 10-year. See what it's been doing lately. So everything today, all the yields are falling, means bond prices are going up a little bit. Take a look at the U.S. 10-year, because that's what I'm interested in right here, and see what it's been doing lately. And we're going to have to go back to about, let's see, let's try 3 months. Okay, what do we see in the 3-month chart of the U.S. 10-year? We see when they priced it in, it was moving upwards. They basically priced it in, I would say, right about February 8th. Okay, let's move it. February 8th, right there. That's when they priced it in. And what have we been seeing ever since February 8th? We've been seeing sideways. And that's exactly what I said. I said it was going to move sideways. But when it's going to take off is the end of this month. It should start to take off again. When the Fed actually starts relieving themselves and they move up to 30 billion, then we should start to see this, albeit slowly, start to move upwards sometime next month. It should start to actually take off again and start to creep upwards again. And over the next 3 months, we can expect it to creep up to, I'm expecting it to creep up to 3.25% on the US 10-year right here. That's what I'm expecting over the next 3 months. Once it gets to 3.25%, then we're locked and loaded, basically. It's kind of like guys, if they want to shoot off a cannon, you know. You got to get the guy to go over there first and scrub out the barrel. He uses some sort of a long pole that's got a wadding on the end of it, you know, and he scrubs out the barrel. Then the next guy comes along, and he takes and he puts the black powder inside the cannon. You know, he pours it in, the black powder, a measured amount. Then the next guy comes along, and he drops the ball down in. Well, it's not ready to go until the guy drops the ball down into the cannon, you know. This is the way the old cannons used to work. Well, that's the way with the market right now. Right now, they've cleaned the barrel out, they've added the gunpowder, but they haven't dropped the ball down in there yet. And the drop in the ball will be when the U.S. 10-year gets at 3.25%. Once that gets in place, then you got to get somebody to light the fuse to blow the thing off, you know. And that's on the cannon. And that's the way with this market. Once we get to 3.25%, then we need a little trigger event to light the fuse. Some little thing. At that point, when she's primed, locked and loaded, and ready to go, at 3.25%, then any little thing then at that point, boom, like when Trump put the tariffs in the other day, and that caused a 700-point drop in the market, right? Any little thing like that, when she's primed, when she's ready. She wasn't quite ready yet. She's not quite ready yet. But when she gets ready, any little thing, when she gets at 3.25%, any little thing can trip it, and then we're off to the races. Market crash time. Real crash time. Not what we've been seeing here so much, but more of the real crash. And just let them try to buy on the dip then. Here we got the U.S. dollar index at 89.49. And you know, it's been trying to stay between 89 and 91. And it's been doing a rather good job for the longest little time now. If we go back here in the charts to, say, a 3-month chart, what do we see? It was falling. And then what happened is it priced in, and there we see the same thing as U.S. Treasury bonds. It's just been going along sideways again, you know. Now, here's the thing I'm going to get to right here. Trump will scrap the Iran deal on May 12th. It's a report. According to Israel's Channel 10, President Trump will scrap the Iran deal on May 12th. The next deadline Trump set for the U.S.-European partners to propose a fix to the deal. So, it says it's widely expected that Iran will resume its enrichment of uranium as soon as the deal collapses. Now, for a lot of people out there that do not understand what that means, they have a certain type of machine that sits near the nuclear plant that I guess it looks like a giant washing machine or something. And what the machine does is it enriches uranium. And why they want to enrich uranium is then they can use it to build thermonuclear bombs. Iran will have the bomb if they start enriching uranium. They already have the missiles. Saudi Arabia, I don't think, is going to let Iran get away with this. Saudi Arabia, if they don't have the bomb already, they're going to get the bomb too, you know. And what we're looking at is another nuclear arms race here, if this deal falls through. So this would not be good. So listen, I'm going to do a special program. I think later this afternoon. I'm working on it anyway. I'm putting it together about a train that's carrying the leader of North Korea to Beijing, China, and back again. And the program is going to be basically all speculation about what I think could be going on, but I'm not sure. I mean, speculation, sometimes when you speculate on things, you're right, and sometimes when you speculate on things, you're wrong. So listen, thank you guys for listening to the program this morning. Stay tuned for that program, that special program that I'm going to be putting together. And remember to subscribe to my Delta Report channel. All you have to do is look up the Delta Report. Just put it in, text it, type it into your search engine on YouTube. Type in the Delta Report or Delta Report, and it'll bring it up. And sub over there, because that's my news channel. That's where I talk about all the items that are in the news, the top news stories and stuff, and give my opinion on them. It's a very good channel. I think you'd enjoy it very much. So bye-bye, folks, and we'll catch you tomorrow.